Sharma. Welcome back to our channel. I am here again with another video of fundamentals of software development. In my previous video, we got basic idea about the subject. Now in this video, we are going to learn a concept called iterative waterfall model. The content I am going to cover in this video is introduction about software development models. We will understand the model with all its phases, and at last we will see where iterative model can be used. So basically there are different software development models which provides a way to develop a software. We know that there are many types of softwares available. So according to the type of software that we want to develop, we choose a way of developing it. The process to develop a software is common, but ways are different. Here are some software development models: traditional waterfall model, then iterative waterfall model, then red model, then prototype model, and the last one is spiral model. So traditional waterfall model is a theoretical model which is practically not implementable, but all the other models are derived from it. Iterative waterfall model is same as traditional waterfall model, but the main drawback of traditional waterfall model is overcome in iterative waterfall model. The drawback due to which traditional waterfall model is practically not implementable. Let's understand that with the help of diagram. There are 6 phases in the model, as you can see here: feasibility study, then requirement analysis and specification, then design, then coding and unit testing, then integration and system testing, and maintenance. So in feasibility study, firstly it is needed to check that if it is practically possible to develop a software or not. It is needed to check if it is technically, economically and operationally feasible to develop a software or not. Technically feasible means if all the resources like hardware, software or network capability or any other resources depending upon the software are available or not. Economically feasible means it is economically possible to develop or not. Operationally feasible means if it is possible to develop a software which could fulfill all the requirements of customer and which could be a user-friendly one. So in the first phase, it is checked that if the software should be developed or not. In the second phase, which is requirement analysis and specifications, consist 3 activities: requirement gathering, requirement analysis, and requirement specification. So requirement gathering means collecting all the requirements of client regarding software by communicating with him or her. Requirement analysis means converting the collected requirements in the proper understandable form. And requirement specifications means documenting the requirements after analyzing it. On the basis of that document, the other activities will be performed. The document is called SRS, means Software Requirement Specification. In the design phase, all the requirements are converted into designing form. It is human nature to understand the things that can be visualized. So in design phase, diagrams are prepared to see and to understand the different views of a system. For example, to understand how database should be, ER diagram is prepared. To understand the whole architecture of a system, data flow diagram is prepared. After that, the GUI is developed for the software to have a clear understanding about it. So it would be very easy to get the idea for starting implementation activity. After designing phase, coding will be started. Coding will be done module wise because for efficient development of software, it is divided into multiple parts called modules. So each module is developed individually and each module is tested individually, that it is properly working or not. Testing of individual module is called unit testing. After individual testing of each module, modules are combined or integrated one by one. After integration of modules one by one, the partial system is tested. That is known as subsystem testing. When all the modules are integrated and then the whole system is developed and tested, which is known as system testing. Here in the diagram you can see the flow is in the single direction. This is the diagram of traditional waterfall model in which it is considered that in all the phases, everything is done perfectly and there is no chance of any kind of mistakes or error. But practically it is not possible. So in iterative waterfall model, you can see the arrows coming from each phase and connecting with a common line. That represents if you want to go back from one particular phase to another phase in a backward direction, then it is possible. For example, from design phase, one can go back to requirement phase to make necessary changes if required, and then again to go ahead. That's why traditional waterfall model is a theoretical model, practically not implementable, and this drawback is overcome in the iterative waterfall model. This model is used for the applications whose requirements are well understood, the softwares which are smaller in size and less complex, technology is well understood, and project definition is stable. Here are some important questions related to this video. What are the different software development models? Why traditional waterfall model is a theoretical waterfall model? What are the phases of iterative waterfall model? What is the working of iterative waterfall model? And where iterative waterfall model can be used? I hope you understood the concept of iterative waterfall model and got the basic idea about software development process. If you have any query, you can comment us. If you like the video, please like and share with others. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get the notifications about further interesting videos. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you soon with my next video. Till then, stay tuned. Take care. Bye-bye.